Dragon Ball community, welcome back to another video. We are going to go into the Blocker Han, Future Gohan. Probably, honestly, this is one of the coolest looking alt arts that we've had for any of the anniversary boxes. I love this leader. Future Gohan's my favorite character in Dragon Ball, and this deck has unfortunately just never been good. The engine's been too expensive, always been too expensive. Now, I think the deck has a little bit of legs, and we're going through a deck list here and kind of show you guys what I came up with. So for those who don't know, this is a very, very old leader. This is Supreme Rivalry, I believe. You attack on the front side. When one of your battle cards with blocker is KO'd, you burst 3, which I always found to be very odd, but it is what it is. You draw 2, take left down to 6, or you can awaken a 4. When this card attacks, you draw a card, and you give a Future Trunks card 5k in crit for the turn. And you choose one of your mono yellow Future Trunks cards. When your opponent attacks, switch that chosen card to active mode, and it gets 6k for the turn. Then they get the skill for the turn. So this also can be, you cannot activate this during the step where your opponent attacks. So when they attack, you get the restand a card. It's pretty cool. And then they all do have blocker, which is really cool. So, 56 card list here. So, we'll start off with one of the new cards, which is Future City. Absolute must to see this card turn 1. This card gets reduced by 7 if your leader is this leader when this card's played. You draw the card and you get to play a 2-cost Sun Gohan Future that costs 2 from your Z deck, and then KO that card at the end of your opponent's turn. And then activate main. You can, if you have 3 or more energy, you can place the card in the drop, and then you can activate the Evolve skill on a Future Trunks card in your hand, and you can reduce it by 1 yellow and 1 colorless. So before we actually go into the rest of the deck, we probably need to look at what the Gohan does. So this support came out maybe 2 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago actually now. So when you play this card, you bottom deck a card from your hand. If you do, you get to play up to 1 yellow Future Trunks card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck or your drop, and you shuffle your deck. This is not with their skills negated. So the ones we're going to play all drawless cards, which is really cool. This card also gives all of your Future Trunks cards barrier that costs 1. And when this, you get to choose a Future Gohan card in your battle area when this card attacks or activates blocker. You get to choose one card under that chosen card and combo with it with this card's attack, and then switch that card to active mode. So you can switch that Trunks to active mode. This is a deflect blocker as well. So beforehand, you used to have to pay 2 for this card, which is awful. Because then you go into your opponent's next turn, and then if they can remove this by any other means, it's bad, right? But now with Future City, we can draw a card, play this card for free, bottom deck a card, and then play out a 1-drop Trunks, and also get to look through our deck, which is also really, really good to know. So we have these Trunks here. These 10 Trunks cards are going to be your targets for the Future Gohan. So we have the old dependable Saiyan Trunks. Search top 3. Look at the top 3 cards and add 1 yellow Saiyan. This is very important because this can search out anything. Any yellow Saiyan. Does not have to be mono yellow either. So that's something to keep in mind. This Trunk searches only top 5 for a 5-cost or less Saiyan. And then this one, unique when one of your yellow Saiyan, yellow Sun Gohan future cards is KO'd by an opponent's skill or removed by one of their skills. Play up to 1 yellow Trunks with a cost of 3 from your deck on top of this card. Now this is important to know is that this card, when the Future Gohan is KO'd by an opponent's skill or removed by from your battle area by one of their skills. This means their skills. So this will not trigger off of your leader effect. So if you KO this card at the end of the turn, this Trunks will not trigger. This only triggers off of your opponent's effect. So this is kind of why this card is only a 2 of. This is very specific to certain turns and certain matchups. You're typically going to play one of the draw guys. Okay. Now you have this new support, and then this new support, which I think makes the deck just unbelievably consistent. And honestly, these 2 cards are probably going to be played in a lot of other Saiyan decks. For example, Trunks Vegeta, which I think is going to be similar power level to this. It might be slightly above this deck when it comes to competitive viability. So let's read the Vegeta first. So actually, let's read the Trunks, because the Trunks actually does a little bit more here. So the Trunks, you get to play it on top of a future of a Future Trunks card. When this card's played, You choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unison, switch the rest mode, and you get to play the support for the Sun Vegeta, which is the unison we just looked at, from your deck in rest mode with a marker on it. Auto, return this card to the owner's hand at the end of your turn. Play up to one future Trunks card with a 3 cost and then the evolve skill from your hand. So you also can play itself, which is kind of cool. So this is a 20k double striker that you play for 1. It taps something and then also plays out a unison. So I need to play this guy out. This card says when you play a future Trunks with an evolve skill, you draw a card. So this also is going to draw you a card. +2, play a yellow future Trunks card with a cost of 1 from your hand in rest mode. So you can play a future Trunks out with this. And then activate main, you have to switch one of your yellow cards to rest mode. You choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and you KO it. Or -5, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. Sorry, up to one of your opponent's cards and switch to the rest mode. So it's kind of like it's almost like a Unison of Theory effect here. So these two cards together, you can go turn 2, right? You turn 2, you play the future city, or turn 1, you play Gohan. Gohan plays out a Trunks, right? You go into your turn 2, you play Trunks. Trunks plays out Vegeta. Vegeta can play out other Trunks cards. It's just a lot that you get to do on very, very little energy, right? Then we go into some other Trunkses. We have Future on the line, and then to change the future. So this is from the Trunks Vegeta deck, which you're going to see this card played more in that deck, of course, because you get the bottom effect. But this is a barrier blocker. You draw a card when you play it, and then you can switch the card to active mode. So you can play a Trunks in rest mode off the Vegeta, use this Trunks, draw a card, switch it to active mode. Vegeta will also draw you a card. Now you have a 19k barrier blocker. Again, this bottom effect does not work unless your leader is the future Trunks. But it still is a 19k barrier blocker that gets to draw you a card and restand. So that's obviously really good. And then this is the old support card. This is a barrier blocker 20k. And if you have 4 more energy, you can tap 2 yellow and play the 8 cost on top of this card in active mode, which we'll go over here in a second. So we're going to go over some more support cards here. Fatherly Encouragement. I think this card is a necessary 3 of in the deck, if not more. You negate an attack, you play this card. That's a cool little negate function. But now you also can use this bottom effect, which if it's your opponent's turn, this card is used in a combo. Choose one of your future Trunks cards and switch it to active mode. So it's essentially the same thing as the Zarbon that people are playing, but this is searchable, right? So like this is searchable off of both of these cards because it's a Saiyan. And you definitely need searchable cards in this deck because most of your stuff is going to be searching, right? Then we also have this. This is a Goku Lineage Goten. I came across this card when I was buying up the support for this deck, and I found this card, and it's not like game breaking, but like the effect is actually good enough to where you can play it. So for one, it's a searchable Saiyan, right? When you combo this card, if one of your yellow battle cards is being attacked, this card gains 10k combo power for the duration of the turn. So this is a 15k combo power on defense. This is ridiculous, right? So this is going to allow you to save some of your blockers. Obviously, like you can block with it. Your leader will give it 6k. You'll restand it. And then you have this 15k right in the tuck in case your opponent decides to go in like with a 30k or something. You just give them 1 card, right? Like, and this is such an easy card to just use in this deck. Because we're going to be really relying on our blockers to keep us safe. So between this and the Vegeta, we can restand, and then we also can bump them up really, really high on defense. We have one of this Goku Frieza. You can choose one of your yellow Saiyans, also can choose your leader. Add it to the energy, to the Z energy, play this card from your Z energy. You draw a card, KO a battle card, and rest mode. And then the bottom effect here, you can play up to 1 yellow Sun Goku or Frieza that costs 2 or less. Now, obviously, you haven't seen any Frieza cards. You haven't seen any Goku cards. But we are going to play this Goku here, right? Returning to Earth. This is a super combo, which we get to play out. We have to be at 4 life or less. After playtesting this deck, Hercule seems like a chore to do, unless you're using these, right? Then Hercule kind of comes in. I wanted to keep with the theme of mainly being Saiyan cards, because again, these cards only search out Saiyans. Hercule's an Earthling, right? So he's kind of actually difficult to search, and if you like burst one of them off the top, like you're probably not going to find another one for a while unless you get really lucky. So I just wanted my super combos to be searchable. So this is a super combo you can use, and then play Goku back out. Use this guy as a 20k, draw a card, KO something. When you remove this card from the game, you can then grab another Goku and play it back out. So then you have another super combo, right? So technically, like you have 5 super combos in this deck. 4 Gokus, we should say, but technically like 5 super combos. We've run the Nova package. I said this before in one of the other yellow videos. I think I said this in the Search Queue video. Any yellow deck that plays the Unison, you should just play this card in. There's just no reason to not play it, right? The 20k that taps something down on either turn draws you a card, and then you can go into this 8-drop that draws you 2 and then KOs anything. Like, this is just, like, it's just 6 cards you just slot in every deck. Whatever deck wins Nationals next year will probably end up being a yellow deck, and will probably end up playing this package here, so just keep that in mind. We have one of the Multiple Awakens Goku, just another super solid, card that's yellow, that's also just a limit one, so you only need one slot for it. KO something in rest mode, ignoring barrier. You guys know the rest of the card. Then we have the Trunks card. It's crazy how expensive this card was. This card was like $3, not even that before the announcement of the anniversary box stuff. So this is a $26 card. So he's double strike, barrier, dual attack, blocker. So you can play him for 4 on top of any Trunks, any future Trunks. So you technically can play him on top of any of the 1-drops. Future City, of course, reduces his cost by 2. So he becomes a yellow, and basically he becomes just a 2 cost, right? So 1 yellow and then 1 of anything else. He's a 30k. It's huge, right? Your leader's gonna give him crit in 5k, so he's a 35k dual double barrier crit blocker. That's a lot of keyword skills. If this card's in rest mode, choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and one of their energy in rest mode. The chosen cards can't switch to active mode until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you also have this cool little tap down effect. The problem is that he's got to be in rest mode. So if you attack with him once and you can't attack with him again for some reason, that part kind of sucks because he's not going to be able to use the effect. So he has to be in rest mode. So like the mirror matchups, when your opponent like time magics this, like that's a really good thing for you because then you can just activate the effect. He might die next turn, but at least he's going to get you that effect off, right? Secret rare is going to be Piccolo Gohan. Probably should have been easy to guess by the 3 super combos. I think this is just the super combo. I think this is just the secret you're going to play in most yellow decks unless you own Gogeta, and then you play Gogeta. I think these are the 2 you're going to see most of the time. There are like 2 other good yellow secret rares that I don't think people are going to play much, but I think this just fits better into this deck. He's also searchable off of this as well. So the only cards that really aren't searchable in this deck are the extra cards, and then this. Everything else is searchable, which is cool. Oh yeah, and this guy, right? We have our 1 of overall. We have 1 Frieza token, 3 Nimbus, 2 release, and then 1 pause. Gives us just a little bit of combat tricks. You also can play things like Forbidden Power if you don't want to use Nimbus. Or you side Nimbus and put Forbidden Power in the main. That's also an option. Well, just because you're playing so many blockers, it would make sense. So now we have 4 Gohans. We have 1 Haze to tap down stuff. 1 Mighty Blast, 1 Tapion, 1 Kaioken, 1 Vegeta, 1 Oolong. Not super exciting here, the yellow deck. The yellow Z side's basically the same for every deck, except for whatever is like archetype based. So you are just really playing for the Gohans, and then everything else is kind of just generic stuff. So this is the list. That's 55 cards, I'm sorry. Give it a whirl. I think I've seen a lot of people, they've been testing this deck. I think this deck's going to be super fun. Is it going to be competitive? I think so. We'll wait till the tier list video to really talk about this deck and see like in its entirety what it can do. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments of future Gohan. If you guys are going to be playing it in the anniversary box meta, and how good do you think this card, these cards make this deck, right? The Future City and then these 2 cards really make this deck over the top, or is it just kind of like another yellow deck that's just kind of a step below Nova and everybody else? So like and subscribe as always. Thank you guys for the support, and I will see you guys in the next video.